Welcome back to my backyard snack yard on a beautiful, sunny, slightly breezy day. I'm out here to pick some berries. And the ones I want to pick right now are some wonderful black currants that are just starting to ripen up down here. I have two little plants planted right alongside each other. There's that one and then that one over there. I planted them 2 years ago. And it's really interesting to see. I mean, they both produced some berries last year, and then this year they both flowered. And this one over here has not done at all as well as this one over here. And it could be because this one's more compact, got more branches, got less sort of light penetrating it. It might need a bit of pruning, but it's got so many branches. I think it's going to do really well next year. And this one's more open centered, so the light can get in there and just look at all these berries coming along here. They're almost like little bunches of grapes the whole way down the stem. And they go from, well, first beautiful little flowers, then they have green berries, then the berries go red, then dark red, and then finally black. And when they're a bit squishy and have a bit of give to them, then they're ripe. And I will pick some, and we can have a little taste later on. They're really delightful. This cultivar is larger than usual black currants, and it's called Big Ben. And the berries themselves just taste so delicious raw. I pick lots of them as they ripen sort of gradually, and then we add them to things like salads. I love making sort of a berry salad with lots of wild rocket and other herbs I find in the garden. It's just such a fresh, beautiful flavor. They're really popular over here in general, these berries, because we produce lots of them for a cordial. In this country, it's really popular with children. It's called Ribena. I think they say they use about 90% of the whole sort of crop every year, the whole annual crop. They use that just to make Ribena. And I believe they say they use, was it 10,000 tons of black currants every year for this cordial that you then mix up with water and make it into kind of juice or squash kind of thing. So yeah, it's a very popular thing for sure. And I know in Denmark we make lots of jams out of them too. They're known as solbær in Denmark, and that can be translated as sunberry, and that sort of tells you the position they like. They really like being out in the sun, but they can also take a little bit of shade. So as long as they get some hours of sun in the day, they're also okay. So I suppose sun to part shade is where they do best. And these ones are in quite a sunny position, although we haven't had much sun this year, and they're doing so well, so that's really a blessing. But yeah, they have a really, really great flavor, and we haven't made anything out of them at all. We just use them and eat them raw. We eat them fresh in our berry bowls, mixed in with things like raspberries, and we're also getting some Saskatoons now. They're super delicious, also known as June berries. So everything's coming along now so nicely. And also we have other members of this Rivas family here. We've got some gooseberries which are coming on, and some other colors of currants. I think we have some other ripe ones I can show you. So I'll just take you on and show you some other colors of these wonderful currants. But I can't rate them highly enough. They are so delicious and so ripe and so big. So fun. And so far, so good where the birds are concerned, because they don't seem to be eating too many of them. But I shouldn't speak too soon because I can hear them all around me, and I'm sure they're really keeping their eye on how many I'm taking. Some of these are really soft and really ready for the picking. I don't know if you can see him, but there's a little baby robin just down here. Oh, he's so cute. Do you see him? Oh, he's such a cutie. He's such a fluffy little cutie. I think he's calling for his parents. Oh, he's so sweet. We're in a slightly more shaded position here in the garden. We've got some white currants. These are white Versailles. They are super sweet. They're the sweetest berries. They're exactly the same as red currants, only sweeter and without the redness. And they are my favorites by far. They're pretty much like sweet grapes. They haven't got the whole black currant flavor to them either. They're much more mild. These ones look like they are ripe. Let me just feel them. Yeah, they'll be good. Just taste a few of these little guys. Like little strings of pearls. So sweet and so adorable. This one hasn't got that many on it because the birds have been at it. But this one over here does have plenty that are just not ripe yet. And then we've got another one here, and it's also been picked off. So look at this. That's the difference in size. Isn't that amazing? So I think that the white ones are the regular size of you'd get of black currants. I think actually regular black currants are probably slightly larger anyhow than these white currants, but you can just see how big Big Ben really is. Like little black, huge black beads. And of course the flavour is completely different. I do hope the birds don't discover these guys because they are so delicious. And they're just starting to ripen now. Here we have some pink ones that are slightly turning pink. They're also very similar to the white ones actually. They're sweeter than the red ones. The red ones are known for being very tart. They're actually the kind of berries that we like to use with cheeses and things, red currants. But like when you make like a sort of a melted camembert and you have the tart red currant jam, really delicious, or red currant jelly even, really nice. But these guys here are much sweeter and they're much more like white currants. They're just like super delicious, beautiful little jewels again. The thing with these berries is they're so tempting for the birds. I haven't got any red ones to show you because they all got eaten. And so really if you have the possibility to grow these and you are able to make a little cage, a fruit cage, it's definitely worthwhile for these kinds of berries in particular. Maybe someday I'll do that. But at the moment I'm just sharing with the birds. But yeah, they're absolutely beautiful berries to grow. I've got lots of gooseberries coming on. I can show you some of the gooseberry bushes actually. I found that this year I had lots of sawfly action, so lots of my gooseberries are quite stripped. Look at this. There's absolutely barely any foliage on these gooseberry bushes. They just were full of berries and leaves last year, and there's barely anything. The birds have been getting to the last remaining berries, and the sawfly got to the foliage and just stripped it. So I'm thinking that next year I'll be better. I'm going to clean up the soil underneath it because the sawfly will go and hibernate down the ground. So I need to really do a good tidy up and try to get rid of them. But usually they eat other plants in the garden and then they in turn feed the birds. So it does tend to work really well usually, but just this year they have gotten hold of the few gooseberries. We haven't had a good year because also it was a very cold spring. And look, some of these guys are actually supposed to be red gooseberries, so they're turning slightly, they're blushing slightly already, but they're not ripe yet. They turn much darker red. But yeah, it's just not a good year at all. They're usually enormous compared to that too. So this one is doing a lot better. This is a standard gooseberry, so it's like shaped like a tree with one long stem and then a tree, and it's so much better in so many ways. I mean, it didn't get attacked by sawfly first of all, and secondly, it's much easier to pick the berries from without getting your hands completely shredded, because they really do have lots of thorns. But because it's growing in this way, it's a lot easier to get to all the fruits and enjoy them. These ones are not going to be as red, but they're a little bit of a blush they'll have to them when they're ready, so looking forward to them. Finally, here are the Yosta berries. It's a really big bush that I also planted 2 years ago, and they're a tribrid of black currants and gooseberries, and you can see they haven't got any thorns on them, so they're lovely in that respect. And they're also growing more like little bunches like blackberries rather than singly like the gooseberries do, and they're meant to have like a really perfect flavor, like a real good mix of the two berries. So really looking forward to these guys ripening up. So they should be ripening within the next few weeks or so. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm so happy that we're in the currant season. The season of currants. It's very, very delicious. See you next time. Bye for now. Thanks for watching.